Now, you may think that we have it pretty good in America, but the thing is, you got to pay for car insurance, which is $500 a month, and then you got to pay an income tax, which is 20% of your paycheck, and then you got to pay a state income tax, which is another 10%, and then you got to pay a third of your money in rent. Now, if you want to buy a car, you're going to have to pay another $500 a month. And you're going to have to pay sales taxes and alcohol and cigarette taxes. Now, we need taxes, and that's the thing. But how we could fix that is an apartment costs 30 grand. If you paid $500 a month, you could pay off an apartment in 3 years. If you paid $1,000 a month, you could pay it off in 6 years. Then you would not have to pay for the apartment because you already own it. As long as you don't have a mansion or a business, then you wouldn't have to pay additional taxes. Another thing is that once you pay off the apartment, you're gonna have about $1,000 a month in money, extra money, and you can work and earn $100 a day. So really, you only need to work 3 days a week. That's four days off a week. You work 3 days. You have your apartment. You pay your taxes, and you have wealth and prosperity. Now, if you work full time and you pay off an apartment, you then have enough money to actually afford a car payment and car insurance and retirement. So what we need to do is make it to where people can pay off an apartment or a house, and then people could not work a 9 to 5 like a slave, and they could afford to live. Another thing is, what are we paying for? We're paying for prisoners. They pay $1,800 a month per prisoner, and we've incarcerated 20% of the population, which is about $6 billion a month. If we made it to where you don't have to work a 9 to 5 like a slave, less people would drug deal. If we made it to where you can afford a car payment, less people would be drug dealing, being homeless, and doing that stuff. So we got to make society good enough to where prisoners don't want to go back to prison and they can work and live. And if we do that, we could afford, let's say, maybe free water, free Wi-Fi, or free bus fares. We pay all these taxes, but what public services do we really have?